Yeah, I welcome you to this episode of the Bisicast. Wait till some people drop in. Meanwhile, I will also share this on Twitter. This is a long overdue episode, to be honest. It took some time to... because I was ill last week, so unfortunately I couldn't do one. So there was something going around in Amsterdam that was very, very strange. And because I'm not the only one who got ill, so this is like the strange thing about it. So as I've already mentioned, you probably saw my story over the last couple of days. That I have written down some notes that I want to show you, or like to share with you. And in the background, I will play some of the highlights or most played tracks at the parties where I've been, at least. And the first one we hear just in the background, by the way, Pontus and Louis are already in, thank you very much for joining, is Ecstasy by Solado and Eli Brown. And actually I want to tell you a bit about my story there at ADE, because I believe it's very interesting to hear. And 5, 6 people are in, thank you very much. Mauricio and Sebastian also in, thank you very much. Feel free to share if you enjoy what I'll do. So I don't know, actually I just wrote down what I did over the last couple of days, and over ADE. And Bruna is also in, thank you very much for joining. So yeah, let's get started, I would say, with Wednesday. So on Wednesday, I've been first event that I've attended was the United in Prog event, which was very unusual for me, I would say, because it's not very often the case that I visit a proper prog event, mainly for the reason that there are none in in Europe or in Central Europe. Prog events in Norway, also watching over on Instagram, thank you very much. And I really enjoyed it, so I'm very much of a prog head, I would say, and also a tech head, so Ecstasy is also a very nice example here. Although I gotta say, I enjoy another remix a bit more, but I'll tell you this a bit later. So post ADE Edition in there. Okay, so that's that. And I really, where's my mouse? So I really enjoyed this event. It was a premiere for me. I loved the vibe, I loved the people. It was very peaceful, and absolutely great. And Pete K was obviously one of my favorites, so I could actually play you again Nova, but I believe I played this so often in my episode already it gets really worn off. And he played a very interesting set. So every set was actually the back-to-back, so you had one track by this guy, one track by the other guys. So this was very interesting. And so I'll maybe talk a bit about the ADE that I had, and show you some of the tracks, because it's not only the original mix that I have here from Ecstasy, but I also have the the new Salsa remix that was out, I believe, last week, and it's just a very nice take on the original. And so this is the link that I'm gonna drop for Spotify, as always, every week. There's also a Spotify playlist. I will drop the link afterwards, after I'm done, in around an hour. There we go. And Eli Brown of Ecstasy. And I also want to play you that's this Eli Brown, hopefully. I also want to play you the Salsa remix, and maybe analyze it a bit. So this will be the mix, all throughout the episode. So let me know what you think so far, because I also like to have some interaction with you guys, and tell me, have you been to ADE, or if not, then would have you liked to come, or did you enjoy the live streams? Because that's what I'm very much interested in. And yeah, I'm just looking for the Salsa remix of Ecstasy. There we go. So I'll analyze this a bit more. So Ecstasy, the original, was played a lot. I believe I heard it at least 3 times, and every time it was played, I felt like, oh, I haven't heard this track on this ADE yet. So that's why I'm happy that Salsa stepped up the game here with his Ecstasy remix. So I'll drop the link also to this one here. I prepared the links. I had so little sleep this night because I wanted to prepare it. Not that I will, of course, look, for the links still. And yeah, Salsa. I hope that's him. So let me know what you think. 4 people are in. I would be, very happy with some comments. And of course, feel free to share so more people can watch what they did at ADE. But I can, share it. So yeah, what did Salsa better? Maybe not better, but maybe different. So we hear the vocal pitch is different, so he toned it down a bit, at least 1 half tone, or like 1 semitone, or if not even 2. So it sounds a bit different, of course. The take on the drops was a different one. Let's check it out. It's way bouncier, and yeah, I love these kind of melodies. Yeah, absolutely enjoyable. So, Solado Eli Brown, Ecstasy, the Salsa remix, out last week, and it's also now on Spotify. So very nice, they all get the melody in there, the vocal in there, so it fits very well together in one piece. Absolutely nicely made. You just, get stuck to this melody, so I really love that. So very nice take here on Ecstasy. I enjoyed more than the original, but the original is also fine, and also has like the right to be there, obviously. Absolutely cool. Yeah. After I've been to United Prog, let's go back to ADE. I've been to the Protocol party. So I had some dinner with Sabrina. I was so happy to see her again. We see each other like maybe 3 times a year, but every time it's so emotional because they like really are, we know each other for, I believe the first time we met each other was 4 years ago at ADE. So we know each other for, I believe, almost 5 years already because we knew each other before through Facebook and WhatsApp. And yeah, and with this, actually this was very funny because I can confirm that Sabrina was the last person that bought a ticket for Mattis and Satko at the Maya. That was the same night. That was on Wednesday, October the 16th. And because she bought the ticket and I wanted to buy it afterwards, and it was written sold out. So it was definitely her. No other way. So yeah. So I missed Mattis and Satko. I missed Vangelis and Wyman. But to be honest, I wasn't too mad about this because I really enjoyed Protocol. Especially I enjoyed Mossiman a lot. Maybe I'll drop some of my favorite Mossiman track at the moment. So he dropped this one that he released this year on Protocol. I believe it was a collaboration with Leandro da Silva. It was called Horizon. Wow, I forgot to talk with Leandro about this track. It's so fantastic. Okay, sorry. That short-term memory. Oh my goodness. But I really enjoyed this one, and believe it or not, I don't have this link prepared, so this is very bad. But he dropped this one as well, and he sang the vocals along. Maybe I can show you also some of the stories that I have. Let me just quickly look for the link. This is a very nice track. I believe one of my favorites of the year so far, and I'll definitely add this to my playlist as well. And this was out on Protocol Recordings this year in I believe June. So absolutely cool, and one of my favorites for sure. So definitely want to drop this one here into the comments. So let me know what you think. Let me know. It's not a presentation. You're allowed to drop some comments and let me know what you think because I'm very interested. This is one of my favorites for sure of ADE. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Not yet, at least. Yeah, I'm a bit mad that I didn't talk with Leandro about this. a bit, because it's a fantastic track. And yeah, Mossiman obviously, yeah, it's known for years already. But yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites by him. And I can maybe, after this drop, show you, because I got also like my iPhone there, which I recorded all my video stories. So every video story that you saw that was in a club was shot with this iPhone. So I saved all the stories to highlights. So I had even to do two. So ADE 2019 1 and 2019 2, because it's so unusual. Hi Luis, very nice, thank you very much. Yeah, I miss ADE a lot, so it was so fantastic, and I want to really go for, in this episode, for all the stuff that I've experienced there. It's gonna be so tough because it was really 5 days of just non-stop party, and I enjoyed it so much. So maybe I'll show you also some of the let me see. Yeah, exactly. So I have here this ADE 2019 one. So it will, I believe, look like this, and I can maybe show you the first. Yeah. By the way, I hope you read my. Oh my goodness. I hope you read my disclaimer here. So the disclaimer is to, you know, don't be mad if I don't recognize you, basically, because you meet so many people there, and you know their name probably from Facebook or Instagram or whenever else, or WhatsApp, and you just don't recognize them because you never saw the face before. So this was very, very strange. Yeah, so this was actually one of my postings that I did. I was, I believe, very creative here with this. With all the, you know, different like collage of like the different places that where I've been to. And so the ADE night started, for example, with me with Soundquelle and Boxer. That's how it looked like. I believe I need to, because the internet is rather weak here, because I'm actually using up all my data now for all my traffic for the live streams here, because I'm also simultaneously broadcasting this on Instagram. So feel free to get over there. That's how it looked like. So there was Nova, and yeah, at Facebook Live it will be now mirrored. Later than on YouTube, if you're watching, it will be in the right angle. So for example, I got this here, great prog vibes with Deza and Rog. So Deza, I've been listening to his music for ages, from Canada, and never ever saw him live. So it was also amazing. Matt Fax, also listening to his music for 5 years. First time ever saw him live. Also had a pic with him. And then it was my favorite, Pete K and Vintage and Morelli. So that was cool as well. Absolutely fantastic vibes. And then Pete K dropping Nova at Nova. So if you probably won't hear it, but yeah. That was actually like then the grand finale with Farius and Colony. So that was that, and then afterwards we had the protocol party with first Maximals, and then we had Mossiman with the vocals. I even zoomed in strongly. So that was really amazing that he dropped like that he was really on the vocals, and also casually met their Sentinel, absolutely amazing guys. But I will talk more about this on Friday when when I come to the Friday to the release party. So yeah, there was Mossiman. And I believe he was singing there once again. The vocals for Sweet Disposition, that was very, very nice. So I was losing my shit there. I'm totally honest about this. That was so great. Because nobody does this, you know, nobody. Is, you know, taking up the courage and just, you know, going out there, singing through the microphone with the CDJs on. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Then I had Stadium X there, which were also amazing. And yeah, they're absolutely fantastic IDs, great melodies, so very, very enjoyable. And then, yeah, then the man of the night came on stage, Denis Koyu. So Denis Koyu is absolutely back. This year was his strongest one, I believe, since I don't know when. Danny's watching also, by the way, thank you very much for joining. This was my favorite of the night here on Wednesday, 2 weeks ago, almost. I wrote down, Denis Koyu starts with a monster of a tongue rework. And when you listen closely to the melody, he changed the melody a bit, of course, but it really sounds like tongue, and I instantly recognized it. So let me just go to the next story. and then he's saying, "My name is Dennis Koyu, ADE, let's go," and whatever. And then when this shit drops, I lost my shit. I'll try to recreate my reaction. Like this. I was going like this. And then, here we go. Woo! I was screaming so hard because I couldn't believe it myself. That was absolutely fantastic. So, I have a theory that who this track is by, because obviously Dennis, but the same night Admire, Magnificence were playing, and they were playing the same track. So either they're supporting each other, or they're having collab. So collab Dennis Koyu, Magnificence would sound sick. So far it's only an ID, so no more nothing announced yet. But this was, I believe, must have been in at least my top 3 moments, because it's really tough to compare this with third party and whatever. But yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. So also he played later on, also Lost Soul, and this ID here with a sick, wicked sound with different like patterns was very, very cool, very enjoyable. Yeah, and then I saw Nicky Romero here, the label boss, on stage. I will talk more about Nicky Romero later. So yeah, but I only watched him for like 15 or 20 minutes, because afterwards I went over to Kryteria. So you see like all the confetti here, like the mic somehow, I don't know, messed up here a bit. And I have, it's time to get funky. So it was great to see Chris and have a talk a bit with him about it. And of course, yesterday it was his birthday, so happy birthday. And then I saw Asko there as well. So he was I believe finishing the night almost. Yeah. So that's that. So maybe let's listen to one more track that I played here that I heard very often at ADE. This was a huge surprise, because I would not think that it was so popular. But another popular track that was at ADE was the track by Swag called "No Strings Attached." I played this in a recent episode of the Bisicast, and not only there, I believe many people played it like in their respective radios as well. Gockman is watching. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, I'm fine. I just have a runny nose, and it will be a bit tough to talk about this. But yeah, Swags, "No Strings Attached" was definitely one of my favorites, because I instantly recognized the track when these strings were coming on. So you can hear it like the back is. So I dropped the link to this one. It was absolutely cool to listen to this. I believe Laidback Luke dropped it once or even twice, because I saw him on Wednesday later. Thursday. And yeah, a huge congrats to Arjen because Arjen is his name, for this absolutely fantastic release. That was absolutely wicked to listen to this, and I don't know, like on the sound system, it sounded a bit different than I usually have it like in mind. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Squawks, No Strings Attached, and what I enjoy very much about the track is the breakdown. It's very unique.
Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music, like old times. I'll start the melody on the organ.
So there was this is very interesting, because even there they processed the vocal, like start a little music. So very, very creative by Arjen here. So that's why also one of my favorites. I believe when I thought about the ADE potential hits, I thought of this track because I thought this sounds very, very sick, and I'm not sure what I was in my playlist last week or like 2 weeks ago. Let me check if I'm interested. But it was one of my favorites. Yeah, it was in my playlist. So I projected this as a hit on the ADE. Look, I'm A&R #1 here. No, just kidding. But yeah, it's very interesting that I projected this as an ADE hit, because I heard it at least twice, if not 3 times, in the diverse sets of the artists that I saw there. Yeah. Up next, the day after, we already on Thursday. Here, I was at the ADE conference. So the conference for me means ADE Sound Lab, because that's how it was called. And so I need to skip it now because I actually have to go all over there. So the day 2 started with me with the Sound Lab and how to start a record label with Sander Van Doorn, Nastia, DJ, and Marco Faraone. And what's so very interesting about this, so we had like different, I need to like hold it like this. So we had here like different, representatives of electronic music. So we had Nastia with techno, and she's also having a vinyl, she's selling vinyl over her label. So this was also very interesting to see how this works in comparison to Sander Van Doorn, which is of course Dawn Records and Spinnin', so a lot of Spotify is involved here. And with Nastia, she's selling vinyl, and this is still a craft, and you have to like kind of prepay let's say you ordered 1,000 copies or so of vinyl, you have to pay them all beforehand, and so you need to kind of put them in a store to sell them out before they get released, so then they can start pressing them. So very interesting. So I'm very into also this side of electronic music, and it was very interesting to see how record labels work nowadays. So yeah, so ADE Sound Lab was definitely worth going there. Although it started at 1 or 12, and I had to get up early, after a whole club night, and this was like 1 to 3 times. So, but it was definitely worth it. So I learned a lot, and I'm was very interested in listening to the panels, and it was absolutely fantastic. And one of my favorites is coming up on Saturday, so I will talk about this later when I come there. And then I had here Reini Sonneveld, a techno producer, and he took us through the production of a track from scratch. So Alexander is watching. Thank you very much for joining. And so it was very interesting. So I recorded this from the what's called Brakkegrond, so the Vlaams Kulturhuis. And so where this was there, well, he was really producing the track here. So very interesting. And afterwards there was a talk with Sandy James and Ryan Marciano, and they got the best freaking story about their career, because you can't make that up. So listen to me closely now, you will laugh your ass off, just hopefully as I did. So Sandy James and Ryan Marciano started off roughly in the 2000s with house parties. So they were throwing house parties themselves. They were very popular in Holland already. So we know them today, as like the Sexy by Nature, and like their sound in general, and they used to be huge stars or signees, like representatives of Size Records, especially. So for Steve Angelo, very interesting for us. And they started playing with CDs, obviously for the CDJs, and they played a lot of amazing stuff and many stories. And one night, Afrojack was there as well, because he was also starting to produce electronic music back then. They were very young, it was 15 years ago. It was almost 15 years ago. And so for Afrojack, it was no problem to hand them over the CD. So that he came to the party. He was very, he's very large, so 1.90 meters, 1.95 meters, or even higher. I cannot remember. And so he bent over the DJ booth, and he gave them the CD to tell them, here, there you go with my CD, play my song. And then they played the song, and it was absolutely amazing. It was fat, amazing electro. People loved it. They freaked out. And the best part was about this, that after they played his CD, he wanted the CD back. That was so hilarious. when I thought of this, I was freaking out, really. Like, next to me, Joachim was sitting, you know, as we were, like, myself, like, you know, watching there. 30 players are watching over on Instagram. Thank you very much for joining, just in time for the little story here with Afrojack and Sarah James and Ryan Marciano. So after they played this massive record by Afrojack, he wanted the CD back. It's like how, like, you know, how to describe this? How, like, how much balls do you have to ask the DJs afterwards, after they played your record? Like, you, like, a totally undiscovered bedroom producer back then, Afrojack, 15 years ago. Always have to say, 15 years ago already, Afrojack was. Sarah James and Ryan Marciano played Afrojack's records 15 years ago, and yeah, this was just hilarious, and you know, he wanted the CD back, and I was like there laughing almost on the floor, and saying, you cannot make this up. This is so hilarious. And like I was like even 5 minutes after they told this, I was still laughing, because when I thought about this, because it's so genius. Like, imagine the picture, you know, he's like, you know, handing the CD, they're playing it, he's saying, well, nice, people are getting crazy, you know. The track is over, they have to eject the CD, and then he says, well, give me the CD back. Because he could burn another one. What's the problem? Because it's like a wave file, right? Already 15 years ago, we were, you know, working with waves. So that was absolutely hilarious. I laughed my ass off. And the best thing afterwards, after they finished, so they basically, I believe, almost went straight to the Nova, because afterwards they were playing here at the Nova for the 1001 tracklist party. Which, I gotta mention, was, for me at least, so the attendance of this event, for me, absolutely, whoever watched with now at the Dirty Players, it was absolutely hilarious, laughed my ass off. Karina is also watching, thank you very much for joining. So I went to this 1001 Tracklist party, totally out of plan, because I believe one of the guys from 1001 Tracklist wrote to me on Facebook, do you want us to... like to get on a guest list, and you know, I was very thankful, because otherwise I wouldn't be at this party. And so Sarah James and Ryan Marciano were playing there, just I've already showed, and later then also Laidback Luke took the stage, or the booth rather, I would say. And yeah, and so I was there, and I believe also there was later on D-Block and Stefan playing, but I was not there anymore. And unfortunately, or not, or however you want to phrase this, I missed David Guetta there, because David Guetta was there for a couple of minutes to receive his award as the top of the 101 producer ranking by a 1001 Tracklist. As we know, this is all based on stats. This is not a popularity contest. That's like with the DJ Mag Top 100, where the iPad clowns or iPad heads won again this year. I won't actually elaborate on this further, because it's no point. I've already mentioned this is a popularity contest. It is a how to say this, motivational? No, it's not motivational. Like what's the word? Sorry, I forgot it. Meanwhile, I just look for the next track that I want to play. It was also played very often. What was it called? Oh my God, what's the track called? I forgot it. Like if there's an election and you have like to motivate your electorate. Yeah, iPad clowns. I call them this way because just the other day I shared 3 years ago. I forgot the DJ's name, but they said that our Halloween costume is to actually have iPads and to ask people to vote for Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike for the DJ Mag contest. And this is freaking, scaring as fuck. And I believe it must be also scary as fuck to be asked at Tomorrowland with like the girls with the iPads in their hands and to tell them, well, don't you have like 2 minutes to vote on Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike for DJ Mag Top 100? Yeah, whatever. So you have really to ask the people, what do you mean by Martin? Do you mean Martin Garrix? No, Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike won this year. Yeah, campaign, but it's not only the campaign. Like, do you have like to I cannot even think of the English word, of the German word. How do you say this? My goodness. Nicht motivieren, sondern what's the English word? The German word. I have no idea. Mobilisieren, yeah, mobilize. I don't know. This is the word, but in German it's mobilisieren, so it could be mobilize in English. So really to ask people, as many people as possible, to vote for you, because you know it's not like a obligatory election where you have to elect, otherwise you're not allowed to listen to electronic music. No, that doesn't work that way. But you know, you just have to ask people. Well, take these 5 or 10 minutes to sign up at 1001 Track at DJ Mag and vote for me. So both popularity contest and like mobilizing contest to mobilize as many of your fans to vote for you. That's why I loved it so much when I. By the way, the track in the background is the new Jack Back remix. Actually, not the new one, like the one that was before. Baba 2Cas with I believe I pronounced that way, with Bayana in the Jack Back Club remix, with the Juice harp here, with the German Mauertrommel. Very creative, and I believe Kryteria played it, and Kato Anaya played it as well. So very. Okay, that's what you meant, Bob Gockman. Okay, so of course. So some said it was a very weak year for Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike. Obviously, they only have Tomorrowland, but Tomorrowland is like the largest, strongest brand in our scene. It's just how it works. Yeah. I mean, like, mobilize the electorate. So in sense of like asking people to vote, asking as many people as possible to vote for you, to take these 10 minutes to vote for you. So that's what I was thinking about. And look, someone joined for Breakfast TV. Andrea, thank you very much for joining. An honor. I was missing you at ADE this year. Yeah, because there was no Kryteria boat party, but I'll talk about this. Yeah, maybe I'll come back. Yeah, so he grabbed his award there which is very surprising. So both David Guetta and Jack Back accumulated, had the most plays, the most unique support by any DJ for all tracks for 1 year together. So very surprising, and congrats, because I really enjoyed this record and I believe it fits just very well. Yeah, you should have come anyway. It's so fantastic to meet the people. But hope to have more releases from Gemellini next year. What are you doing right now? So are you working on some new stuff in the studio? Is something signed already? Just keep me up to date, because I'm very interested. Yeah. So after that, I was at the what was it called? The Pete Dash party. Yeah. So the Pete Dash party last year was absolutely a highlight for me, and this year was no exception. It was just like the vibe was a bit different, I would say. So I was there. The first one was by Sir Styles. So Styles was also very present there at ADE. So it's very nice. And he played a very yeah. So he played one of my favorite tracks of the compilation by like the first compilation by Kryteria. Are you ready? The Agent Rag remix. And look how his moves are absolutely fantastic. And there I wrote this mashup, made it even onto Austrian News. Right here, right now, versus Grete Thunberg. I want to play this right now. Actually, not the original. I just grabbed like probably a reboot or something. And it was just very interesting. So it was actually right here, right now, the Camel Fat remix versus Grete Thunberg.
This is all wrong.
So you can actually hear it now in the background.
I shouldn't be here. I should be back in school.
Am I still using the same phone number? I believe so. I've never changed it in my whole life because I love it. It has so many zeros. Just like as me, I am a zero. I am. And not the same phone though. That means we didn't change.
With your empty words.
So I'm also there available on WhatsApp.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
So yeah, he played roughly, you know, this edit with Greta Thunberg. So very interesting that someone really had the idea, because like Greta Thunberg, I mean, the speech was, you know, very, it was also on the media all over, and you know, she was even crying there at this conference, and she was saying, right now, right here, right now is where we draw the line, and someone had the idea to mix it up with Right Here, Right Now by Fatboy Slim, both the original and the Camel Fat remix. I believe Fatboy Slim actually made the mashup himself. How dare you? Yeah. So it was very interesting that Styles was playing this.
And that you understand the urgency.
So yeah.
But no matter how sad
yeah.
and angry I am, I do not want
Oh,
to
more
leave
than zero.
that.
Thank you very much. It's so
Because
kind of
if
you.
you really understood the situation,
So yeah.
right here, right now.
Right here, right now. Right here, right now. So I believe the original goes for a bit longer here with Right Here, Right Now, so a bit more chops. But actually it goes into the fantastic Camel Fat remix by Right Here, Right Now here. I still enjoy it so much after all these years. So yeah, that was absolutely cool to see Styles dropping this. I have to go so much, like a couple of times over all the stories that I put there. So I have here like also the Bossman taking the stage then, Pete Dash, because I believe before there was Simon Kitsu, also know him for many years already. Fantastic tech house. Pete Dash also played some amazing stuff, very enjoyable. And then I believe also next to probably Dennis Koyu and then later on Third Party, one of my favorite sets of ADE, Kato Anaya, a good friend of mine, very kind, very down to earth, always, you know, very happy to share some information up front. So you know, of course I keep it to myself, you know, because I'm respecting it. And then later on there was Siente El Calor with Les Castillos. They were closing this at 10 p.m. and afterwards I was heading to DOD and Friends. And DOD Friends here with Endor Music, who made a brand new rework of Pump It Up by Denzel from 2004, from my childhood. But I'm not a huge fan of this, to be honest. It sounds a bit monotone for me. And then later on there was DOD going on. And there was also a special guest here. Yeah, he was playing, for example, According to Me. And Laidback Luke paid a visit once again, so I saw him twice that night. And I even had later on, I believe here, no, I have it in the posting and not in the story, a picture with him, and I'm very thankful for this because, as you know, Laidback Luke not only a legend in our scene, but also the discoverer, I would say, the guy who discovered Avicii. Of course, nowadays, very sad to talk about this. He's not among us anymore. But I believe he signed the first track, I believe, by Avicii back then called The Ryu. I still love it today. Very progressive, very cool. But I'm not gonna play very much because I'm so done with, you know, talking about Tim and that he's not among us anymore. It breaks my heart every time I have to like even mention this. So let's head on to Friday, October the 18th. Do I have a track that I want to play now? I have so many, believe it or not. But actually, I want to also talk about ADE. I'll maybe talk about Friday and like now the conference with so the first talk that was there at 12:15 on Friday, October the 18th was My Process, My Journey, Digital Technology and the Evolution of Creating Music, presented by Isotope. Isotope, very well-known VST creator or VST producer. I believe Isotope, for example, for mastering, very well used. Isotope Glue, for example. Not that much into production, because production is like I believe producers among themselves this is rather a sub-scene in electronic music itself, I would say. Because every time I go like into like forums of producers or Facebook groups, sometimes I'm gonna go in there, you know, browsing some stuff. I always think like they are among themselves. They know what they're talking about. They're all freaks to me. Not in a negative sense. Like really, like they really know the craft. They say, okay, this plugin does this and that, or this does this and that, and check out like those presets or whatever of this new VST, or also a very, very well-known VST, like synthesizer, I don't know, or all the silent presets. Silent, probably the most famous digital synthesizer plugin. So I believe many melodies were on silent made and also layered. So we have here Carl Cox, who introduced himself as Samuel L. Jackson. Very funny. And it's not from Isotope. Oh, sorry. Thank you very much, Gogman, for telling this. Okay, Glue is not by Isotope. I thought, well, what is by Isotope then? They have a very famous plugin. But I have, I'm not a producer, so I'm very sorry if I made a mistake here. But I know Glue is for mastering, or like before mastering, something like this. So we have Carl Cox, Dubfire, Chris Liebing, and Miss Kitten, and yeah, they were talking about how processing their sound and everything changed so much, because they had a lot of analog synthesizer back then. For example, the 808 was very popular, or any Moog synthesizers. And there was also like you could also like play around with all the different oscillators and like all these different knobs and play around with sounds. Very interesting, because what you do there is as a producer, like especially like this nowadays EDM nowadays, you just do this in like digitally. So and there you still have like knobs to twist and very interesting. Also for me, like as a fan of electronic music. And yeah, afterwards, so very interesting to listen to them. How it changed. They also like invited you to the Amsterdam family meeting. I'll talk about this in a bit. And then we had this, what's called Beat Clinic, and it's by Lucas and Steve. And Lucas and Steve was very interesting because they did a proper demo drop. So they were there was a CDJ, and you could like drop them your USB stick, your pen drive, and they played your track and gave you instant feedback. So just a bit like the Demolition panel at the end that I'll talk about, but I believe like even like more direct and really straight to the genre as well. So then also Loco Dice was talking about like how to get signed to Desolat, and his story, like his childhood, where he basically grew up in a record store, crate digging for the vinyls. So what I do nowadays for like digitally, like look for music on the internet, back then it was looking for vinyl. So that's not any different from today. It's just the medium is a different one, but it's still like the same. So you still look for the tracks. Maybe back then you still had to put it on a Technics and like a vinyl player and like a turntable and listen to it, because you didn't know it. You didn't know how it sounds like. And today with the vast amount of music released every day, it is a bit different. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, meanwhile I was listening to tracks that I will play afterwards. The new one by Cruiser and Robin Aristo. And the biggest disappointment of ADE, I have to admit, was and Lucas and Steve has many great tracks. But actually I don't want to go too much into it, so I would rather to talk about my experience there. Was Charlotte de Witte. So Charlotte de Witte was or the Witte, how you pronounce it, I have no idea. Was huge disappointment. It was a huge disappointment for me because although she looks natural for a woman, obviously, well, of course, I'm not talking about thinking everybody should wear or whatever they feel like, or whatever they feel like. She felt like, I don't know, like she was fake. She was asked two questions where she couldn't actually answer it properly. The first one was, what would have happened if you had not had like any success as a producer or DJ? I would say here in that case rather DJ. And she said she had no idea. She started to study law, and well, it was never like an option for her to fail the idea. So that was very strange for me, because at some point you have to have a certain backup plan for your life. I have it, for example, I study translation. I hope that I can make some living out of this later, or maybe more or less. And the second question was if she ever doubted in not succeeding as a DJ, or like not being successful, and she said no. And so there has to be something wrong with you if you never ever doubt in yourself, because I'm doubting almost every day, at least a couple of times a month or a week. Is it still worth it to pursue like a hobby like this that takes so much time, no money back, just for the passion, just for giving you like an idea, like what I do with the Bisicast, basically to present you new music. Is it still worth it to make all this happening? And and that and I asked this almost every day, and she said no. I never doubted myself. Sorry, I don't buy that. I simply don't buy that, and that's why as like an artist, for me, she's very disappointing. I know I'm probably gonna have a lot of hate now. But from what I saw, and I saw her live, it's not like that it was, as we say in German, Hörensagen, so that someone told me that, or like there were some rumors around it. I was really seeing her live, and to me, this interview looked a bit like it was staged. So, really very sorry for that. I thought that she was a bit different, but now, I have to really think twice what I would witness this live set by her. Yeah, then I met, thankfully, afterwards I met Nikita, aka Nick Miles, from Latvia / the UK, who then later I been to the ADE University that was very close by, the Brakkegrond, and was an amazing view from the 6th floor, and you had to go there by feet, up the stairs, and look who's there, a wild Armin van Buuren appeared, wow. So, and there was a masterclass with Orion Nielsen. Was also very interesting for him to see how he produces. So he had a very nice kick, and I really liked also the lead melody. It was a nice track that he brought there, like, as much as he could go ahead within those 45 minutes. Yeah, and after that there was the ADE family meeting. A few people showed up, like roughly 10 or 15. Also, who was there as well? Ed from Xtone was very happy, very thankful that he also joined us. And so let's maybe play some music again, because I was talking way too much. And you won't like the track that I'm gonna play now, but I have to, because it was still on heavy rotation during ADE, which is absolutely surprising, I would say, for that kind of music. So you will instantly recognize it, I would say, and because also it was not the follow-up single, but it was still the original. I believe you can already recognize it, and when I go over to the drop, I believe this track needs no introduction. Still on heavy rotation. Many DJs still are playing using it. It's very, very interesting. Strange at the same time, but it seems like they still feel that this track is still working on the dance floor, maybe because many tracks still like it. Gabriel joined me just in time for that over on Instagram. Thank you very much for joining, for Losing It by Fisher. Yeah, so I'll drop the link to this one as well. If you don't know the track still, feel free to listen to it again. Yeah, that's that. This will be a very long episode because I still want to play some tracks, and I will play the tracks. Don't worry about it, because I presented them. Like at the stories last night, so I won't play them. But I want to talk about ADE. This is very important to me. I mean, it's still very bouncy. I very enjoy it still. So it's not. Don't get me wrong. I still love the track, but it is a bit, a bit outplayed, I would say. Yeah. And I believe now there comes my favorite part of the night. Was obviously the ADE. The release ADE night by Third Party. And it was both with Release and Release Deep. Wow, really, Gokman? So hard. I still love it. It is overplayed though, of course. So, but I won't puke. No, I'm fine. It was just a bit overplayed, I believe, because it's been over a year now. It was the hit of Ibiza last year. In Austria, you have to be very careful when using Ibiza, because this refers to the probably largest political scandal we ever had in the whole history of Austria, because it was happening on Ibiza. But it has nothing to do with electronic music, it just happened, it was there. Yeah, so that's why I'm very careful with Ibiza, like as the island here. Yeah, release night was amazing. So we had Release Deep, we had Release Records, we had all the guys, we had Stevie Crash, we had Walden with an amazing comeback. I'm so mad I didn't neither take a pic, nor I had a talk with him. I had no idea why. Gabriel, you're watching. Where did Walden go after the ADE party, release ADE party? Because I wanted to talk with him, and he was just gone, or I was gone. I had no idea. So tell me, because if you're still watching, because Gabriel is very close with Walden. Sentinel, Matt Nash, third party, very memorable, just as last year, and Pete K with an absolutely fantastic finale that I will play to you. So we had Stevie Crash with a classic from 2015 from Size, Objective, by Mojo, X CD, or however they were called back then. Yeah. And Walden, as I've already mentioned, played... Yeah, I hope. But you know, you're in Brazil, he's in Australia, I'm in Austria. Couple of 1,000 kilometers between us. Will be tough. We hold our spot for a party set. So you were standing at the backstage, or when? I had no idea. Okay. I believe he's in Sweden. Oh yeah, you told me that, Gabriel. I forgot about this. Damn, you're right. But you're still in Brazil, though. That's right, because I saw you on posting on Facebook that you are like heading back. How does this work? Isn't it like 5 hours between you and Sweden? Okay, nice. You're right, Gokman. You both are right. I forgot about this. Sorry. Sweden is nice. Sweden is cool. Sweden is close. Next time I'll come to Sweden. Sweden was amazing. I loved Sweden. Green room and then backstage. Okay, whatever. Okay, never mind. So, there are my stories. They are still in my highlights. Played fantastic progressive and this absolutely fantastic ID. So, can't wait for this one. You know what I made. That was very kind. Very, very kind. Yeah, new ID played by Walden, and another fantastic track by Walden here. Absolutely fantastic progressive, and I believe Sweden is also like the great place for him to play the music, and like produce the music, because he's having a lot of inspiration. Also, like I would like to see when he's in Sweden at the moment. I would like to see a Walden X. Sorry, who was this guy? Forgot his name. Storgarts collaboration. Looking up for that one. So you need to make it happen. Walden X Storgarts. So I want to hear a collaboration with this. Look who's watching, Sabrina, my heart and my soul. Thank you very much for joining. Was talking about the release ADE night just in time. So Matt Nash played In My Head, among other things, and he played also a track that I may play here that was also played very often at ADE because it still works. So I believe every time I hear this track, I think, well, I haven't heard this track, or actually I heard whatever. I will afterwards. Now I don't have time, because I cannot splice myself in 2 parts, and the other one is sending you this, the other one is doing the Bisicast. It doesn't work like this. Yeah. I don't know this track, I haven't heard it yet. It was not like the case that when I was at the third party Liverpool event with, the live show, every DJ that was spinning there, I really mean it. So I was, I believe, Corey James, and somebody else, and I believe my dad was also there. I have no idea. I cannot remember. But Corey James and some other guys there. Everybody was playing, nobody else. Everybody. So apart from Third Party that were doing their own show, yeah, more live. Na 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 na. So this is actually the second melody, but whatever. So you know the deal, you know the track, and yeah. So that was also very popular at ADE. Nobody else. Very interesting. And yeah, and then I played. I recorded the opening by Third Party. So everybody when we were together with a lot of CO2, and they was doing a lot of coverage for Release Family. So I don't have that much on my own. Kryteria exactly played it too. Oh, Tayler, you're in as well. Thank you very much for joining. So yeah, Kryteria played it. Corey James played it. Everybody played it except from Third Party like them. So together, also one of my favorites. There. So absolutely, I'm so happy that he's back. I'm so happy. So and then they played also Every Day of My Life. So with a lot of white noise, I know. Da, 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 da. So yeah, that was amazing. And for example here, Everybody's Free. Even like the white noise or like the CO2 kind of was on beat. That's so funny. Alisa is also watching. Wish you all the best. A speedy recovery, of course, because Alisa, just as I did, she was also at ADE. And we both caught a cold there, and probably like from Saturday on I felt a bit better. Yeah, Pete K closed down the night back then with amazing progressive vibes and another drop of Nova, one of my favorites. Fantastic vibes up until the end. So we had here Terminal 5 at the end. And yeah, Luis, it was absolutely the best night, and thank you very much for your sets then. And I want to play the track which he finished the night with. So the lights were already on at 4 a.m. It was the end of the night. And he dropping this masterpiece that I haven't heard in a long time. And I really had to look for the track on the internet because I thought I had it, but I didn't. Because the track is from 2007. So the lights were on. Everybody was kind of, like the show was done, like his set, the last set. Even like Harry was at the back enjoying Pete's set. And there were still many people at the club. Don't get me wrong. And he is playing this classic. So everybody was screaming, one more song. And it was that. Yeah. I'm a fan, I Want Your Soul. And I found this, and I'm so happy to play this now, to give you a bit of the vibes. Especially with this bass line here. So yeah. So he played that. I just asked him today, in the morning, again, Pedro, whether he was really playing this. I want your soul. Yeah, the original is a disco track from 1985. I looked it up on whosampled.com. I can only recommend everybody decide. So if you're suspicious and think the track is not original, a cover of a remake or whatever, whosampled.com is your friend. So that was the best finale ever, absolutely. So let's relive it again in this stream here. Oh, I want you so. I couldn't believe myself. I thought, what the hell is he playing there? And it was so fun to listen to this and to dance your ass off. You want it right now. Yeah, Sabrina's also here now on my Facebook. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, I have 2 more days to go, and I need to finish now. I won't just keep on going. Oh, I want you so. Yeah, it's very tough to review that because it's fucking 12 years old. It still sounds banging. But of course, like, the kick is a bit different. It sounds like it's not properly sidechained or whatever. But this was, it was just the way to go. I'm fine, except the runny nose, and that I had a lot of work. But yeah, it was fantastic to play to this for you. Yeah, and the last track, there was Saturday, so I'm not done yet with this. No, it is not here. So it's not here as well, or either. So Saturday was very interesting because Saturday started with me with a meetup / picture of all my idols from years ago. So that was Nicky Romero. So I already mentioned him before. I just have to go over here. So, sample creation techniques. And so, Nicky Romero was talking a lot about, Leandro Silva also joined, thank you very much, played Horizon earlier. We didn't talk about this track, fantastic collaboration with Mossiman earlier this year. A huge congrats on this. And thank you very much for the carnival party. I had a lot of fun with Chris and Asko, and Kato and I was also tearing it up beforehand, but I was still at the protocol party, so I cannot divide myself in two parts. One party goes to this party, the other one goes to this one. It's very, very bad, but yeah, it's just how it works. So yeah, I need to restart now Instagram. Yeah, let's start here again, and so day 4 at ADE started with Nicky Romero talking about samples or kicks. So what he was talking about how kicks were very important back in the days, because you did a kick yourself, you layered it, and once a kick worked, it was yours. So, and you didn't share it with anybody. And today with Splice, you share basically everything. But back then, you know, it's so he compared it with when you gave away your kick, then it was like giving the keys to your house. So you just go in there and rob it, you know? And, yeah. And so he was talking about this, and afterwards, a dream of mine came true, because for the first time in, must have been, 8 years of support, I have a picture with Nicky Romero. It's so insane, I love it. And he wanted to leave already, and I was probably one of the last ones to take a picture with him. And it took me only 8 years to take a picture with Nicky Romero. And I'm actually very happy, because back in 2012, 13, 14, he was my superstar. So I was screaming, Nicky! And I was like, you know, his music back then was, because he had a function, he had a very great working kick back then, that he used in every of his productions, so his sound was very, you know, recognizable with this kick. The same goes with Hardwell back in 2010, 11, 12. 13, 14 still, I believe. And then, you know, was downhill. But it was with the whole scene, basically. You know, this is just, you know, my opinion, and like everybody will agree, because we grew up in that time, basically. We were young, like 6 or 7 years ago, and it was a different scene. Yeah, so, and then with the two angels, yeah. I'm so happy, Sabrina and Alisa. Thank you very much. So I spent a lot of time with these girls, mainly a very like simple reason, because they speak German. No, but I love them. I love the girls, and yeah, of course it's of course a different way of conversation when you talk when your mother tongue than in English. Called Kiki Romero, yeah. Yeah, he has 2 plugins based on kicks, and I believe like everybody was raising their hands when they were asked whether they're using Kickstarter or Kick, like the Kick, you know, production plugin. And he was even talking about Timbaland, that even Timbaland is using Kickstarter as a you know, a sidechain kick, as a sidechain plugin, because he said he wanted to produce this plugin because it started with a problem, because in Logic you had to connect your kick to a compressor, and then you had to sidechain it, and now with this plugin it's way easier. Of course, I don't understand much of it, but you know, still, you know, very enjoyable. And I mean, like the talk and like what they're talking about, samples and whatever, that was very interesting to listen to. Yeah. And then we had Medusa. So I was talking about dropping a track that you probably know from him, and I will do so. Feel free to sing along. Rafa is in Kick 2, because it already had an evolution. Yeah, Kick was the first one, and then there was because I'm free now official. I'm in the wrong. Yeah, because it was first it was only Kick, and then they got Kick 2. Yeah. So where is it? Yeah, there we go. So I have actually 2 loose controls that I want to play this night, and yeah. So yeah, so sing along on this one. You know the lyrics. Loose control that he started off his set with. So yeah, I know Medusa already for a long time, and what happened there? It was Manuel who was taking the stage there, basically. No, that's not what I want. Go away here. So, and yeah, it was very funny to talk about this. It makes six, yeah. And just want to tag them because they deserve it. So, yeah. So he started the set with this track, and yeah. So then we had like the yeah. Then I was also at the XL studio session with Mike Williams. That's how it looks like. How it looked like. That was a very messy project that he showed us, and he showed us an unreleased track, so it was very nice. And yeah. So yeah, that was a pick with him. So with Madwell. So I used to sorry, I have here a message. I still like his track back from Susumi back in the days. So from 2014, Kid, for example, or I like Simon Ejano stuff as well. So I really enjoy this. And then there was my favorite part of the ADE conference. So Sound Lab, that demolition panel. The demolition panel is something very very nice because this is honest and direct feedback on your demos, and the producer of the best demo gets some sick prizes. So 3 nights at Barcelona, an ADE pass for 2020, KLM flight to Barcelona, and so on and so forth. Yeah, and I judged it together with Martin. I met Martin from Glow Records, A&R Glow Records. Fantastic label, check it out. I love to support the music over there. Very cool. And then there was the We Are Superstar party. We Are Superstar with Tom Starr. Also there, some fantastic producers there. Also rather techie, I would say, but still very cool. With DJ Agent Greg, with Tough London. And then he took the stage. Tom Starr was also cool to have like a chat with him. And then we hear the Jack Back remix that I've just played to you, very popular. And yeah, he's grooving the hard remix, so he also played some of his favorite classics. So yeah, I still enjoy Tom's music a lot. 2000 Freaks come out by Jack Back, who would have thought. Joy Kamado joined, thank you very much. Yeah, the only thing that was a bit weird about this party was that the confetti was out of place a bit, so it looked very weird. To have so much confetti for a tech house event, yeah, this is like, you're just standing in this confetti and just think, what the hell? Like, why? I have fun without confetti as well, I don't need this. So yeah, back then, you know, like on Saturday already was the 4th day partying, very tired already, but great house vibes all night long with Agent Graph, Tough London, Tom Starr, and his Paper Airplanes remix, also one of my favorites. So yeah, very cool one. And he played also Russian, the original, 2 Pills and I Was Russian by Schizophrenics and Jeff Doblo, very old one from 2010, I believe. And then Laura took over, fantastic techie set. She's from Berlin, and she recognized that I am from Vienna. Because I asked her, she's from Berlin, she speaks German. Because like, you know, Austrians and Germans speak the same language, it just have like regional differences. A bit out of, I hate to call it accent, because for me that's not an accent, it's like a different variety. It's like the correct scientific term would be variety. So it's the same language but just a different variety. Because, or I would say norm, because there's a Northern German norm and a Southern German norm, I would say. And I speak the Southern German norm, and she would speak the Northern German norm, obviously. And she recognized that I'm from Vienna because of the Schmäh. The Schmäh is like a very Viennese word for just attitude and joke. So it's both, like it combines fun or jokes, or like telling jokes, and attitudes. A very interesting word. Very tough to translate. That's why, you know, like, there's no one word for Schmäh. And also it's a very Southern German word. So up north they don't know. They have like a different connotation with this word. It's, you know, my topic, and I don't want to talk too much about it. Very lovely, very lovely. I even have a pic with her that I cannot show you because it's on the phone that I do the Insta stream now. Yeah. Sunday was my birthday, October the 20th. Thank you very much for all the birthday wishes. We're almost at the end. Gabriel also joined me now over here on Insta. On Facebook. Matt Nash presents Futurism. That was the only party I went there because I slept in. I was basically in my hostel, just laying around in bed, because I was fucked off after 4 days of partying. And I had still one night to go, and I thought, no, and it's my birthday, so what should I do? So let's finish my birthday and ADE with a bang. Matt Nash Futurism Party. I lost a lot of money with this because I wanted to go back on Sunday by plane. But then I passed the exam and I said, well, fuck it, let's go with the Futurism Party as well. And it was worth it. The visuals were absolutely amazing. So music by Lucas was there. Lawrence Z. Ray, his partner. Jordan J, also Cool Tech House. Yeah. Zonderling was the special guest there. Then, yeah, we had some very cool beats there by Zonderling. So, yeah, that's that. And my favorite track by him is Domino Edit by Oxia, originally. Singing this melody always. Yeah, Kryteria took the stage, he was a bit late. This is his marketing level. Sorry, I'm totally almost out of battery, but I'm almost done. Marketing level over 9,000 track. Used to be called. What was the working title? Blade 9000 or Blade 3000? I had no idea. Blade 3000. So that was the working title, and it was released as a acid remix for Mogwai. So Mogwai used released a track called Acid, I believe 1 or 2 years ago on Spinnin' Main, and this will be the remix for it. So it will be called then in the release version. It will be released in a couple of weeks. Mogwai, Acid, the Kryteria and Benny Benassi remix. After it used to be called Blade 3000, marketing level over 9,000, and he told me like you need to have the most outage of a track possible and the most hype, and he did this with this track very nicely. That's why I say marketing level over 9,000, over 3,000 in that case, and he played the original mix of B. Classic by Leif Louis and Steve Angelo from 2007. And then there started the sick visuals by Matt Nash, who was coming in there. Wow. And we're on the same frequency, that's why he started with. Yeah, I did some coverage for Release Family as well, so check out our stories. I believe, or I'm not sure whether we already could put this together, I would have to look up. Yeah, very cool visuals, very enjoyable, and he had a great time. I believe his whole family was there, so also his father was there, and so he was very proud of this part that he pulled it up because it was a year in the works, so absolutely huge congrats. Yeah, Pressure was also won by Promised Land. And yeah, Believe In from Release Family, Release Records, and then of course I shared it also on Release Family. Very cool track. Yeah. And yeah, was this the last part of ADE? No, because I was at the Opium Showcase on Sunday at a club that I cannot pronounce because it has like a Dutch name. And there was playing Gregor Salto and Sidney Sampson, two absolutely, staples of the scene. A fantastic track by Sidney Sampson, because he wrote me then it was his track, his new track, so I'm interested in the release if it's coming. And I ended my ADE experience with new IDE back-to-back magnificence, and I'm so happy that I saw new IDE again. DB, absolutely badass producer, and yeah, it was just great to see them back-to-back. And so there was many people were there, so huge shout-outs, huge thank you to Tess, Tayler, Kerry. Kerry, so lovely, so in love. She's so lovely, really, so cool. And who else? And Chloe, of course, like all the UK kind of bunch. Absolutely cool. Well, absolutely amazing party with you. Styles, also amazing. Of course, I've mentioned already Sabrina, Alisa. You really made up my ADE so special, and it wouldn't be the same without you. So with that, with this picture, I want to finish it now. Me done after 5 days of partying and having a cold later and whatever. And I missed actually Kryteria last week because I was like dying on Wednesday last week. And yeah, heading back home with Sabrina, because actually we had We had a flight back to she to Stuttgart, I to Vienna at the same time. I believe it was 5:15 p.m. So very nicely. And then we also had a couple of minutes to like kind of reflect on it and spend some time together. So yeah, hope to be back. Soon together, like to meet Sabrina and also have some fun. That was ADE. Thank you very much for watching. I have a couple of tracks to go through. You need to bear with me. So I just play them and drop you the links and not talk too much about this. So I want to start with the 2 tracks that I mentioned. Jeffrey's over there on Instagram. Thank you very much for joining. A fantastic track that he was, I believe, cooking for a long time already. Winwood Walls, it's called. So I'm very thankful because I believe he released it himself. So definitely, it is on it's on Spotify. So definitely go and check it out. So yeah, I really enjoyed the synth here. So yeah, also very cool mixed. So it's really like a proper cruisy track, very recognizable. So yeah, thank you very much, Mikael, for this one. And I will rush through the tracks a bit because I'm already very late. I want to watch my late night show, but I didn't know that it would take so long. So a very special episode with ADE and a couple of tracks that I discovered. Also this one that I've already mentioned to you, Robin Aristo. I also met him and his girlfriend. I can't think of the name. Sorry. Right now because I'm also a bit stressed because I want to go to Sarah, also to go through the tracks. Robin Aristo with Make You Shake, very cool one on Hysteria. So let me know what you think of the tracks. Do you like the drops? Very creative. It sounds a bit EDM-ish, I would say, but not as much. It's not too bad, I would say. Still very creative. Robin Dehan, aka Robin Aristo. Thank you very much for this one. And it's a very cool breakdown. Keeps very much the theme. Very cool. Pump it up. Yeah, another track that I want to play to you is the one that I played you on the stories last night. That is Bart Be More and House Ain't Giving Up, and this is a track on Spin in Main. Alisa watching, thank you very much for joining, and Ada as well, with a very cool vocal but even cooler drop. So it really is a reference to the sound of the 90s rave sound. Very enjoyable. So I heard it, I believe, the last couple of days in my car, and it just went off. Absolutely. But be more. 52,000 likes, so make sure you support him. Very cool track. Yeah. So yeah. Also like the breakdown also fits very well with the bass line here. Like the main synth. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this vocal because I don't like these highly pitched vocals as much. But it's very decent here. It's not too bad. So still very enjoyable. Yeah, so one of the guys that I'm going to talk about now is having a production on the way, like his own production, he told me. So the next track I'm going to play is, I believe, if Bogdan is still watching, it's now your time to shine. Track is called Get Enough, and it's by Alvaro and Alexander Sambo. Very enjoyable one. Yeah, because Alvaro is going to be father in a couple of weeks, so huge congrats on this. So I mean, he's older than I am, I believe, from what I know. So yeah, great that he's actually now making a family. Because family, you know, gives you some, you know, some, like saving. Yeah, Bogdan, you're still in. Thank you very much for still being with me. Yeah, hope that you enjoy my my play here. Yeah, but actually, he's not here. So, Alisa, I know. And yeah, 200 likes and 460 likes. Alexander, so definitely feel free to support him. And this track is out on We Play Music. So definitely feel free to support this because I really enjoy the build-up. Because I really took the time and it's very housey. The melody is cool. Reminds me of I Remember by Cruzy and Jose Mara. Yeah, Oliver's watching. By the way, Oliver, once you're here, thank you very much for joining. I received your tracks, but I haven't had time to check them yet, so I will after the show. And I heard that Walden, the Australian producer, is living in Sweden now. And Oliver, feel free to collab. I would like to hear a Walden x Oliver Storgart's collab. Please come together in the studio and produce some burning progressive fire. I want to listen. I want to hear this. So if you're here, if you're listening, Gabriel is actually also very close with Walden, so I'll link you up, and I want to hear a collab. Because of course I can wish a lot, I know, but I believe it will sound massive. It will sound massive. Because I really enjoy your both guys' sound and like a merge of this. Like this is my new dream collab. People say, what, Eric Pritz Camel Fat would be a dream collab? No, I mean of course it would, but it's just not happening. And just no, Storgart's x Walden. This is my dream collab now. So make this happen. Make Max Busy happy. Yeah. Oh look, you learned something new. Yeah, he moved. He moved to Sweden. So yeah, I'm still in awe. We didn't meet at Swedish Cosmos here. How does this happen? No idea. So next up, very happy that the guys from Fisher sent me this. Yeah, Sverish for the win. Sverige. How do you pronounce it? I have no idea. We have Atlantica together with Fisher on the track Basics out on Turn It Up. I love the melody. 200 likes, guys. Support. Atlantica has 200 likes. Fisher has let me check it out. I believe 300 likes. So support. Yeah. So the track is called Basics. Thank you very much for sending me this. So yeah, I want to just do. Oh yeah, never mind. It's fine. So support it also on Spotify as well. I very enjoy it. It's very unusual that there's good music on Turn Up Music, but like that good, I would say. Thank you very much for sending this. A fantastic record, very banging. Reminds me of the old Corey James sound, Malanti, like 2015, all those times. Yeah. And coming up, my favorite track of those. Yeah, absolutely, those drums. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Cool idea on the synth, on the drums. Absolutely fantastic. So support. Fantastic music. Absolutely banging. Yeah. And for the next one, you ain't ready. And this is a huge surprise. So both the sound and the producer and everything, the Tess produces. Yeah. So thank you very much for this one, Atlantica and Fisher with Basics. And so now I'm so happy that 4 people are in, and only somebody as well, because the upcoming track, guys, you ain't ready for the drop, I tell you this. You weren't ready yesterday or today in the morning when you watched my story, and you are not either yet. So I'll just play this and just watch my facial expressions, because it's all what it says about the track. You ain't ready for the drop. You ain't ready, I tell you that. Let's check it out. Holy shit! My goodness, Electro House is back! And in style! That melody, oh my goodness. I'm losing it totally here. Na 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 na. So simple but so fire. My goodness. Who is this guy? This guy's called Adrian Alexander. And it's his remix of Monoverse featuring Cammy Robinson with Stay With Me. And this was one of these moments when checking tracks for ADE for the Bisicast, where I went through, let's say, 50 tracks that were trash, and then this drop is coming, and I'm losing it. And what's the fun thing about this track is that it's basically a trance track. You wouldn't imagine that. So it's very, very surprising. Matthias joins me, thank you very much. So Edwin Alexander dropped it. Thank you very much for this one. Edwin Alexander is, by the way, also the owner of Ecliptical Sound Melodies, which I didn't know. This is a progressive house label, a very nice one. Beautiful melodies up there. So yeah, let me know what you think about this drop, because I really am very curious whether you just lost it as much as I did. So after that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks left, and then we're done. So the second drop is a rather melodic one, so this is very typical for progressive trance tracks. They have this kind of melodic drops. This guy's from Kentucky, by the way, in the US. Oh, it's very surprising. And then I believe he switched it up back to the harder drops. Or not as much, yeah. A bit like the melody and everything. Okay, so that's that. Support, fantastic music. And so what else do I have? Maybe I won't play all of them. What else do I want to play? You know what? I'll play 4 more tracks. I'll play 4 more tracks. The next one that I'm gonna play is Eddie and Kurt Maverick with a track called Chicago. So this is a brand new release by Eddie. So I'm a huge fan of him for years already. He's doing great stuff. Eddie, I know him as well from an ADE appearance. I hope to see him once live. Like he's not even spinning in Germany, nowhere, because house is not existing in Germany. It's such a huge state, like such a huge country, and it's just not happening. You know, because there's no house. There's just EDM. There's techno in Berlin and everywhere else, but no house. House is dead when it's about the scene. Not the sound. The sound is there, but the scene is just so somewhere. That's how it sounds like. A bit minimal. It goes a bit into minimal house. So it sounds very interesting, but it is kind of filtered, but then it opens up very nicely. And it sets like the vibe, you know, like gets stuck to the vibe. Okay, that's that. Now maybe play the other one. Speaking of house, as you know, one of the centers of house music, or like the merging points, was Chicago. And the track is called like this. Yes, Goffman, I got it. But I'm out of time, unfortunately. Very sorry. I will tell you later, but I want to go through like 3 or 4 more tracks and I want to finish it for tonight. So yeah, so the track is called Chicago, and very nicely after this I want to quickly show you a track of the what I want to say, the Big Beat Ignition Chicago edition. Too many Katie Browns. Okay, I have no idea. Okay, so maybe Free Jack should be available. Let's check it out. And I want to play the track Lose Control, which is ironic because Free Jack, yeah, 16,000 likes, and Katie Brown, I have no idea which one. And the track is called Lose Control, and this is on the Big Beat Ignition Chicago edition EP. So I believe it consists of 10 tracks, very nice house on it. It's also on Spotify, and yeah, this is a very nice like kind of housey piano-esque one for Chicago. So so let's check this one out quickly. Yeah, because I'm live now for, I believe, over 1.5 hours. So this is very rare that I have so much. I just want to go for as many music as possible, but it's actually as much music as possible. It's not possible. So yeah, I can only recommend this one. So feel free to check it out and support K Brown and Free Jack. So yeah, and like many tracks like these are also on this Big Beat Chicago Ignition, or Big Beat Ignition Chicago Edition EP. So this I believe out of 10 or 12 tracks. Check it out, absolutely cool stuff. But yeah, maybe I'll present you more next week because I still have so much music, so I might fit in another episode next week. Would be nice. Yeah, and so I talked about about Sentinel, and they dropped an absolutely fantastic track this week on or last week, I believe, like Friday on Protocol, called Light, featuring Moses York together as a collaboration with David Pietras, who I met, I believe, I met him at this year at Swedish House Mafia, like Size Family meetup. Or I believe it's not, it's Steve Angelo team, yeah, or whatever. So, and that's how it sounds like. And I believe this is the last bit rougher track of tonight. And then I'll end on a very chilly note. Yeah, the drop is very nice and very progressive. Still get into the groove, and I very much enjoy the vocals on the breakdown. So, and then Kitras here. We have Sentinel, so these guys were so heartwarming. Jonathan, Michael, Timmy, I think they're called Video. And this is the track Light. So heartwarming, these vocals. Really go into your chest. So definitely support this one. And I love the second very minimalistic layer on the melody there. It just gives it a little bit of extra. It's very nice. Yeah, this is Nothing Scares Me Anymore remix. You're right. Absolutely. Why didn't I recognize this? Lockman, yeah, thank you very much for this add-on. But yeah, it's not a copy, so it's both are very enjoyable. I believe the Nothing Scares Me Anymore is a bit more uplifting, I would say. This one's a bit more progressive, but still both very enjoyable. Okay, the last track that I'm gonna play tonight, and then I'll sign off, is the new one by Grum. This was the first track that he released on of his album that is coming out next month in November. The track is called Tomorrow, and he'll also have a worldwide tour. Of course, not in Austria, because who knows Grum here? Nobody. Although I know him for 6 or 7 years already. A guy from Glasgow, very nice. I saw him at Third Party's live event at Liverpool. It's a very chilly track to, it's so progressive but kind of deeper sound to finish off the show. Yeah guys, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I believe I had constantly a few people in. This is so great that you enjoyed my reviews, that you enjoyed my views on my ADE experience, and hope that you enjoyed it. So this link I don't have prepared, but I will add this as well, and I will of course share the Spotify playlist now. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed my show. Hope to be back next week, if I'll still be healthy. Actually, the extended mix, I'll add the extended mix because it's so cool. My playlist. And yeah, I like when the parts can come with feel the highs and feel the lows. It's my favorite part of the whole track. The highs, feel the lows, night. Straight into the heart. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my review here, my reviews here today. Yeah, Joachim, I'll write you later on your review tomorrow. So thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I believe I'll fade it off now, and yeah, hope that you enjoyed my episode. Yeah, feel free to rewatch it afterwards, and to rewatch it then later also on YouTube. I just quickly dropped you the Spotify playlist, and I need to first of all to make it public, and now I can share it. And yeah, Bisicast 110 Spotify playlist. So that's linked down below. I really enjoyed this vocal, absolutely great. Yeah, have a good night everybody, and hope that you enjoyed it. I will drop it on YouTube as always, and restream it in, let's say, an hour or so on Insta, and on Twitch. If you want to rewatch it again. Yeah, and have a safe night. Interested in what the current next week will bring. I presented you some of my favorite tracks and my ADE experience. Yeah, and hope to see you next week on the next Bisicast. Hope that you enjoyed it, and yeah, see you next time. Thanks, and bye.